Today I'm going to walk you through what happened after our charity crochet auction and then give you an update on all the different projects that I've got going on because I get loads of questions all the time. Back in April, just as a quick recap, we went to Vietnam. It was excellent. It was hot. We ate lots of banh mi and we had many beers. The more important things was we did a load of charity stuff out there, and when we came back, I decided to auction off 3 of my crochet projects to raise some funds. And the reason for raising the funds was while we were out there, a load of the other people that we were with had brought reading glasses with them to give to some of the villagers. And it was just astonishing to see these ladies put on glasses and actually see their handiwork craft projects that they were working on. And then one of the organizers was like, I think we can do more than this. And so she woke up in the middle of the night being like, yeah, let's start a project where we bring glasses and we train them in how to do tests and whatever. And it was just phenomenal. And so I thought, well, what if I raise some funds to enable that project? It occurred to me that I could use my love of craft, so knitting and crocheting, to empower their craft by raising funds so that we could get to them the glasses that they need. And so when I spoke to Nick and Pam, who run CAP, they said that they'd found this backpack kit that would allow them to teach someone in the village how to do eye tests and then basically just get the lenses out of this backpack and put them into a pair of frames and give them away on the spot. And I just thought, how genius is that? Like a quick eye test, put some lenses in a frame, and then the very next day, the recipient is there being able to do their craft so much easier. And so then I came home and I was like, okay, I've got all of these crochet projects that I've spent a lot of time on, and I love doing these projects, but I don't really need them. I mean, how many blankets does one person need? And so I thought, oh, let's just auction them off and see if there's a lovely person out there who would like to help raise these funds. And yeah, I'm just humbled and blown away by the response. It was just amazing. So I put up 3 of my crochet projects. There was a zebra bag. It was a prototype zebra bag, my practice run, let's say. There was a big mosaic project that was meant to be a blanket, but I stopped earlier and it became a wall hanging, but double-sided, really beautiful. And then the other one was a table runner with a set of placemats. To be fair, I'm so blown away by the response, both by the number of people who bid on the auctions, the winning bids, and just how many people got in contact with me behind the scenes to ask questions. And yeah, anyway, it was fabulous, and I'm very humbled that there are so many people out there interested in A, supporting an excellent cause, but B, buying my crochet work. So we raised, after all the fees and all of that stuff, I just sent to Australia $799.46 Australian. And then there was some direct donations direct to the charity of another $145. So almost $1,000, which is just kind of mind-blowing. So thank you very much to everyone who participated. I'm overjoyed. And it's actually given me an idea for the future, which is to take some of my big projects that I'm either currently working on, have already finished, and do more of this charitable auction type stuff, because there's loads of organizations here in Portugal that I would really love to do the same for. So stay tuned for that. Cool, so moving on. If you did watch any of that series of us going to Vietnam, you'll know that we went there to build a house, or to help build a house. We just recently received some photos back of the finished house. So they now have finished all of the walls. They've got render on them. They've got all the timber paneling for the doors and the windows on the outside, all of the walls on the inside. The floor is still earthen, so that's up to the family to raise some more funds and do. But all of the project that was part of the charity organization, that build is now complete. The family are in, and now they can be warm and dry and safe. And it's really nice to close that loop. You know, you go there and you sweat for days on end and do all the building work, and you don't finish because you can't possibly finish in 3 days. And so it's so good for us as a team of people to now see the finished photos. And you'll also notice that the weather there is so much better than it was when we were there. It was like foggy every day. We didn't get a single view over the valley, but it looks like it's really lovely there at the moment. So yeah, makes me very happy. Something else that makes me very happy is my crochet projects. And I wanted to go through what I'm currently working on because I know there's a load of other crafters out there who are always interested in what I'm working on. Where do I start? I'll start with the ones that are finished. Actually not finished, mostly finished. So last year I made 2 foot puffs. I've made another 2. Slightly different pattern on the sides this time. I haven't finished them, but they just need some sewing. So I'm going to use the canvas from the old tent to make a canvas bottom to these because it's really good hard wearing canvas. I just haven't got around to doing the sewing part yet. I also started teaching myself a new technique called Tunisian crochet, and so I made this hat using Tunisian crochet. It's kind of like a combination between knitting and crochet. So there you go. It's for the winter. It's not winter at the moment. You know, when you learn something, sometimes something's really easy and sometimes something's really difficult. This was one of those really easy ones. It took me a few times to get the top right, but then it was really easy. So I was really happy about that. And then when I'd finished that, I got all ambitious about Tunisian crochet and decided to do an entire blanket using Tunisian crochet to do mosaic crochet work. Let me explain even more complications to this story. Is the wall hanging that I did auction off is part of the pattern from this one. I think I'll have to stand up to actually get you to be able to see this. It's huge. Like bigger than me.
Yeah, but you're tiny.
So let me just make sure I'm holding it up the right way. This is the full pattern.
Wow.
Actually, I think that's upside down. Yeah, it goes that way.
Very nice.
So the back of this one, I didn't do it double-sided. So it's just kind of, you can see the pattern, but it's a little bit more obscured. So I think I'm going to put a fleece lining on the back of it. But the thing I love about this style of crochet, this Tunisian style, is that the drape is really lovely. Normal mosaic crochet ends up being a little bit heavy, but this is just lovely. I mean, if it wasn't summer, that's quite cozy. Anyway, that was my second foray into Tunisian, and I really like it. I now am trying to challenge myself with finding a way to do double-sided Tunisian crochet, which, as far as I can tell, isn't a thing. So I might have to make it up. Before we sit down, this one, I started after that one, but I've had to stop because it's too hot to work with a blanket on my lap. Oh, yarn's everywhere. This is another style of normal mosaic. It's got the like tiny little dots in it, which just gives it a different effect. And equally, it has a much lighter drape than standard mosaic crochet. So that's all the big projects, but I have been working on some smaller ones. This is my first ever mosaic knitting project, and also teaching myself to do continental knitting, which is actually much easier and faster than English or throne knitting, as they call it. I quite like this, and I like it so much that I'm also doing a second mosaic knitting shawl that is still on the needles and all twisted up in yarn. Different pattern, but just an opportunity to try a few different mosaic techniques. And I recently, again, this is another mosaic crochet project, double-sided one. I made it for the bathroom to be a hand towel, and matching, but with different colors, just little face washers, washcloths, whatever you want to call them, two of the same. And then at the moment, I'm experimenting or prototyping pot holders. They're slightly thicker. I want to use them to put things on the table. Oh, let's see if the yarn is long enough. Similarly, trying a double-sided pot holder trivet thing. This one isn't going as well as I expected, so I need to do a bit of unpicking there, but work in progress. This one took me maybe like 6 undo redos to get the first couple of rows right, and then once I got them I was like, yeah, no worries. But yeah, so many undo redos. So that's all my projects. A couple of others that I have in my mind is I found a great pattern for some Portuguese tiles, which I really want to do. Also some mosaic socks and whatever else I find along the way, which there's always way too many. I will put all the details of all the patterns and the designers and the yarns and stuff on the website for those who are equally crochet crazy and want to create their own projects. But it brings me on to the final point of this video, which is I've had loads of people mention that they would like to buy something. And as you can see, I'm more than willing to create things, and I don't need all these things. But I would like to know, if you were wanting to buy something, what you would want to buy. I can't make big projects like this very often because they take, I think that took 5 months to make. But smaller projects like this and even this, I can do. So if there is something you'd like to see for sale on our website, let me know. If there is something you would like to see for auction, for charity auction, do let me know. I have in my mind a giraffe bag from the same designer who did the zebra bag. But if there's anything else you'd like to see me make and then auction off, let me know and I'll see what I can do. But I am one person, just bear that in mind. As much as I love to crochet, I also have to build a house. So that's it for the crochet update. And again, thank you ever so much to all the people who participated in the auction. It has been an amazing result. And I will keep you updated on that project as and when I get updates from the organisers as well. But until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.